Hi, boys and girls. Happy Friday. Today is June 5th, 2020. I hope that you're having a great day and a great morning. Before we get started on today's experiment, I have two things I want to do with you. One is we're going to listen to a very short story about your five senses. I was able to go to Barnes & Noble the other day. They just opened, and I picked up this book, and I thought, oh my goodness, we're learning all about our five senses and how to apply it to our science experiments that we're doing, and I thought this would be a great book to buy and to share with all of you. And then I wanted to share, so I don't know if you remember, but the bean that I put in the bags, okay? I put two beans in two bags, so I have 4 beans. And the first round didn't grow at all. It just kind of rotted in the window, and what I did was I replaced it with some fresh beans that I bought at the store. So beans are also seeds, and I did want to show you that because the other ones were old, I replaced them with new ones because I just grabbed some from my classroom. I don't know if you remember me telling you that, and I believe that they were old. So if they're old, they're not, chances are they're not going to grow. However, these are definitely new seeds, and so I want to show you with the camera that there is a root. Let's check with the lighting over here. There is a root right there. And it's starting to sprout. I don't want to open the bag because that might stop the process. But there is definitely a sprout that is happening. And I'm really, really hoping that it's going to grow nice and tall before the end of the year. And hopefully we will see some leaves on it. But there's definitely some growth that's occurring in both of them in this bag. So what's happening is the seed coat is coming off. And there's a root that's growing down in the bag. And then there is a sprout that's starting to happen, and it's green, and it's hopefully going to grow all the way up the inside of the bag, so we'll get a better view of that. So I just wanted to share that with you. I was excited when I saw that happening. I want to review our popcorn words for the week. Make, make, make. Will you come with me? Will. W-I-L-L. On. Buy. So next week we're going to be putting those into sentences that we're going to write out, and you're doing a great job with your sentences, boys and girls. Super proud of you. So our story is My 5 Senses. I wonder if you could tell a parent at home what your 5 senses are. We've been talking a lot about them these last 2 weeks. All right, ready? I love the picture on the cover as well, on the title page. It's a little boy, and he's pointing to his eyes for his sense of sight, his ears for his sense of hearing, his sense of smell, his nose, his mouth for his sense of taste, and his hands for his sense of touch. 5 senses. My 5 senses. I see, I hear, I taste, I smell, and I touch. And they give all examples underneath. I love that. Love that, boys and girls. All right, I can see. I see with my eyes. See with my eyes, your sense of sight. That's one of the 5 senses. I can hear with my ears. There's the boy, he's pointing to his ears. I can smell with my nose. Sense of smell. I can taste with my tongue. Taste. Sense of taste. I can touch with my fingers. The fluffy bunny rabbit. I do all of this with my senses. I have 5 senses. When I see the sun or a frog or a baby sister, I use my sense of sight. I am seeing. Cute. See with our eyes. When I hear a drum or a fire engine or a bird, I use my sense of hearing. I am hearing. When I smell soap or a pine tree or cookies just out of the oven, I use my sense of smell. I am smelling. When I drink my milk and eat my food, I use my sense of taste. I am tasting. When I touch a kitten or a balloon or water, I use my sense of touch. I am touching. Sometimes I use all my senses at once. Sometimes I use only one. I often play a game with myself. I guess how many senses I am using at that time. When I look at the moon and the stars, I use one sense. I am seeing. There's little boys looking up at the stars. When I laugh and play with my puppy, I use 4 senses. See, hear, smell, and touch. He looks really happy about that. When I bounce a ball, I use 3 senses. My sense of sight, hearing, and touch. Sometimes I use more of one sense and less of another, but each sense is very important to me because it makes me aware. To be aware is to see all there is to see. Hear all there is to hear, and smell all there is to smell. Taste all there is to taste, and touch all there is to touch. Wherever I go, whatever I do, every minute of the day, my senses are working and they make me aware of what is going on around me. Eating, sense of taste, feeling, and touch. As he holds his stuffed animal in his flower, sense of smell, smelling that flower. I hope that you like that book, boys and girls. My 5 senses. All right, so next, we are going to do the last experiment of these 2 weeks, and I hope that you like it. We're gonna make something called snow fluff, and it requires cornstarch, shaving cream, and food coloring. All right, and I have everything set up. I did a trial run of it just to make sure that it would come out correctly, and it did. I had my daughter, my Lainey girl, helping me out with it. All right, so let's put this aside. Here we go. Put this up just a little bit. So here is what I need to conduct this experiment, okay? I'm gonna mix these things together and see what I come up with. Cornstarch. Shaving cream. Ooh, Lainey, you wanna get me another shaving cream, sweetheart? Thanks, this one's almost empty. I meant to get another one. And then I have, it's in the bathroom, sweetheart. And then I have my food coloring. I have red, I have yellow, and I have green. So I'm gonna start off, I need a measuring cup, and I need a cup of cornstarch. So I'm gonna pour a cup of cornstarch. This is a 2-cup container. I'm gonna use 1 cup, and I'm gonna put it in my mixing bowl, which is already messy. Thanks, Lanes. Because I used it earlier. I said, oh, why clean it? I'm gonna do it again. Okay, so let's get my spoon. All right, so I have my cornstarch goes in first. Then I'm gonna take a cup, let's use the remainder of this. I'm going to use a cup of shaving cream. All right. I pat it down, it gets really fluffy. That's just about right. I did find that I needed to add a little bit of water to it to make it more of that dough consistency. All right, put that aside. And then let's see. I think I want to make it a pinkish color because I think the red with the shaving cream is going to make a nice pink color. So I think that I'm going to give that a whirl. So I have my few ounces of water, and I'm going to add the food coloring to it. I'm going to grab a spoon and mix up that food coloring. There we go. Okay, so we get that nice red color. And then I'm going to pour it into my mixture. Okay. Now before I use my hands, I'm gonna put that over to the side. It is really, really messy. So I'm gonna put that, everything to the side for now. I may need to add a little bit of shaving cream as I mix it together if it doesn't form the dough properly. So I'm gonna tell by my sense of touch if it feels correct or not. We did make some earlier, my daughter, so we're looking for this consistency. Whoa! I need to squeeze it a little bit more. We're looking for a dough consistency. So this is what it's going to turn into as I make a mess all over my computer screen. Oh my goodness. All right, let's move that aside. Okay, now before I put my hands in this mixture, I wanna make sure that I do any writing. I'm gonna do any writing that I need to do first on my mat, my 5 senses mat. This is the last day that we're gonna use it. You could also use a white sheet of paper or you can just listen. It's completely up to you, okay? So we're gonna record some observations. So I see, as I look at this big, messy bowl, I see shaving cream. Wow, I made a mess. All right, let's move this over. Put it down. Okay, so I see shaving cream and red coloring. All right, I don't hear anything. I'm certainly not going to taste anything. I smell the shaving cream. I feel, I did do this earlier. I am going to do it again, but I am going to do the writing now. I felt that it started off and the texture was a little bit grainy. It wasn't adhering together, so I did add more water to make it a little less sticky. So at first it did start off and it was a little sticky, so I'm just going to write sticky, and then it formed a dough-like consistency. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna put this over to the side. Maybe I'll show that at the end. And I really wanna get going on my mixture and I really want you to watch me, okay? So let's see. So it starts off, let's see. Ooh, this is so messy. The shaving cream is really like fluffy. Let's see if it does turn pink. My hunch was that it was gonna turn pink. Is it turning pink, boys and girls? I definitely see pink in my bowl. All right, I am gonna have to get 2 fingers in there. All right, so I definitely see the pink. I'm going to use 2 hands. I'm going to get really, really messy, and I'm going to squeeze it together. I'm trying to get that dough-like consistency so that I can play with it a little bit later. So if I want to knead it into different shapes, I can do that, kind of almost like Play-Doh. But it's going to be a little bit lighter and a little bit fluffier. All right, so it starts off and it's a little bit, it's not so smooth, it's a little grainy. So in the directions, it said that if it is not that sticky and it's not adhering together, well, there we go. I might want to add a little bit more shaving cream though, so I'm going to try that. Ooh, add some more shaving cream. Let's see if we can get it to stick a little bit further so all of it can be incorporated, the whole mixture can be incorporated together. So that's my goal. I'm trying to get it all together in one big ball that I can knead into different shapes later. Ooh, I think I might have done it. Nice. Ooh, I think I might have done it. I think we need a little bit more shaving cream though, so I'm going to keep... You kind of have to play with the mixture a little bit and make sure that the consistency is correct. So you need that dough-like consistency. So if it's not staying together, then you're not going to have that. You're not going to have the consistency that you want. All right, there we go. Ooh, I might have done it. So it's a sticky dough-like consistency. not tasting anything. It's not edible. It's not something that you can eat. I kind of hear I don't know if you can hear that, boys and girls, when the ball goes back and forth and my hands are completely, look how messy. Oh my goodness. I do hear a little bit of a swishing sound though, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Oh, I was able to get it into one big ball. So I think the trick is that you definitely need to use more shaving cream. All right. So I have one big dough, one big ball of dough that I can knead into different shapes. I'm gonna put it on my cookie sheet. And now I have, my daughter made 2 yellow ones and 2 yellow globs of dough, and then I have a big pink one here. So if I mix cornstarch, a little bit of water, and some shaving cream, I am able to make a dough. And I hope that you liked Friday's experiment, today's experiment. And I will see you all next week. Next week, stay tuned. We are going to be learning all about worms. Sounds really, really exciting. I think that you're really gonna like it. You're gonna observe them in my yard. I'm gonna dig some up and we're gonna look at their behavior. We're gonna look at the segments on their bodies, and we're gonna learn about the structures of a worm and what they eat, what their enemies are. So stay tuned and I will see you next week. Bye, friends.